The stable door was already closed when Eli Mercer stepped inside, and for one terrible second it looked like he was the reason it had been shut. A young girl sat on the straw with her knees pulled tight to her chest, wearing nothing but a torn, filthy shirt that barely covered her thighs. Sunlight cut through the cracks in the boards and landed across her bare legs, showing bruises and shades of yellow and purple that hadn't had time to fade. She flinched when Eli's shadow fell over her, as if she expected the next blow to come from him. Eli removed his hat slowly, careful not to startle her. He noticed the door latch first. It had been fastened from the outside. He noticed the iron ring bolted into the wall next, and the short length of chain lying in the straw. Then he saw the marks on her wrist. She tried to speak, failed, swallowed, and forced the words out in a cracked whisper. My father. 3 times a day. Her eyes flicked toward a wooden post beside her. 3 shallow cuts had been carved into it with a knife. Not random scratches. 3 marks, evenly spaced. Morning, midday, night. She didn't cry. He drinks. Then he comes, and he locks the door. The heat inside the stable felt thicker than the air outside. Eli felt something shift in his chest that had nothing to do with anger and everything to do with shame. He had Verse. There it was. Not a fist. Paper. Law. Silas hadn't chased them down the road. He'd gone straight to town, straight to the badge. Tom wasn't accusing, but he wasn't smiling either. In this county, Tom said carefully, a father still carries weight. Eli nodded. He understood. Out here, blood often spoke louder than bruises. When Eli returned to the ranch that afternoon, he found Clara standing by the fence, watching the horizon like she expected dust to rise at any second. But she must have felt it in the air, because just before sunset she said something that made Eli's stomach tighten. He won't stop, she whispered, and in the distance, far down the road leading from Dodge City, a thin line of dust had begun to climb into the summer sky. The dust line grew thicker as it came up the road. Clara saw it before Eli said a word. She didn't panic. That was the strange part. She just went still, like someone who had spent years learning there was no use running. Eli stepped off the porch and rested one hand on the fence rail. He counted 3 riders. Silas in front, 2 men behind him from town, both the kind who spent more time leaning on saloon walls than working honest fences. No badge in sight, not yet. They pulled up hard in the yard. Silas swung down from his saddle, eyes bright and mean. You got something that belongs to me, he called out. Tom cut him off. This isn't raising a child, he said. This is a locked stall and a chain. Tom looked at Clara. Did you sign it freely? She lifted her chin. No. One word. Clear. No shaking. No tears. Silas was taken into custody for assault and for holding her against her will, while the deed was set aside for review. By sundown, the story had ridden past Dodge City, from saloons to church steps, and folks argued over it clear out to the next county. Now listen close. Out here, in 1880s Kansas, the law wasn't always fair, and even today, it still depends on men and women willing to stand up when it would be easier to stay quiet. If there's a lesson in that summer dust, it's this. Sometimes the clock that controls your life isn't time, it's fear. And fear only keeps its power when no one challenges it. So let me ask you, where in your life are you still counting marks on a post? What habit? What voice? What memory? What person? And what would happen if today you chose to stand? Steady, even if your voice is only one word strong. If this story moved you, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment and tell me what part stayed with you. Tell me what time it is where you're listening and what state or country you call home. Every story shared here is gathered and retold with care. Some details are adjusted to deepen the lesson and bring clearer meaning, while the images you see are created with AI to enhance the emotion of the experience. If this kind of storytelling isn't for you, that's all right. Rest well tonight and take care of your health. But if it spoke to you, stay with us. There are more stories like this, and maybe the next one will be the one that helps you stop a clock of your own.